Hi, and welcome to this module on conflict management. Thomas Kilman suggests there are 5 styles of conflict management: competing, avoiding, collaborating, accommodating, and compromising. And they all vary in their levels of assertiveness and cooperation. The competing style is high in assertiveness and low in cooperation. These individuals tend to dominate the situation and be forceful in putting their own beliefs across. It's very helpful in situations where a quick decision is needed, and often when the sanction is high and the message needs to be delivered with clarity.
My turn to speak. You speak to me like that again, and it won't be a scrum, it'll be a penalty. I'm all for chat at the right times and in the right tone. Do you understand me? Have the respect to look at me when I'm talking to you, please. Do you understand me? Yes. Thank you very much. You know I'm quite meanable. Speak to me tidy and I will listen all day. Sorry. Thank you.
One of the key roles is to ensure that obviously we look after the protected area, and sometimes bowlers do encroach on that area. I try to take the approach that, you know, a formal route immediately may be not in the best interests of the game context. Bowler, you keep running down the protected area, that's a first warning. That suggests with my tone and the way I've said it that I'm not prepared to empathise. Sometimes that might antagonise the bowler and that actually you've broken your relationship for further engagement. So I think it's important that you understand your tone and the way in which you say things, and you know, in scenarios where you're warning a player for either bowling a high full pitch ball or whether you're running on the protected area, I think it's important that your tone remains quite neutral.
Just calm down a second. You guys stand over there, please. I want to speak to him in a moment. Okay. Just give me some moment.
You can hear what the crowd
I just want to make it clear. Okay. I don't need your breath. There's too many penalties. If you tackle someone, that is a tackle. That is not a maul. So you then looking up at me and screaming maul? No. That means it's a tackle, okay? So there's now too many penalties in a row. If it continues, someone goes to go. I'm going to go and speak to him as well. But you need to speak to your players about too many penalties now, okay? 12.
Ken Owens chooses not to argue.
Let's make it really clear. You come and ask for a yellow card, you get one. Okay, understand? Yep.
Great call there from Wayne Barnes.
So the first thing I would do is probably just do some non-verbal signs that I'm looking at that protected area. For example, I would walk down the wicket and just look at where the bowler would potentially run into. So I might give a first non-verbal kind of like warning to the bowler, and I'd make sure that at that point the bowler was watching what I was doing. If the bowler was to encroach again and it was quite clear, I might just say to the bowler, look bowler, you are on the protected area, please try and get yourself off that protected area, or so I might have to go down the formal route.
The avoiding style is low on assertiveness and on cooperation. It may be that you've not totally avoided the situation, you've simply parked it. You've made a mental note as to what's happened, because you may need to refer back to it later on if things start to escalate. This is a helpful strategy and can often be used when players are feeling frustrated and upset and angry, and they just need a short moment to vent that anger appropriately.
A lot of people who avoid conflict is because they're afraid of it, and they lack self-confidence, and they don't have any strategies for dealing with it. You can't be a smart ass with an angry coach or a player, but you can if you've got years of experience and levels of respect.
Two captains, come here please. John, come here please. No. Don't look so worried. Look, all I'm getting at the moment are players shouting, knock on, offside, tackled out the ball. We're in the wrong sport for that. So go and have a word with them. Because if I hear somebody shouting again, it's going to be a straight penalty, all right?
Speak to me like that again when you were taking over the part in this game. Is that clear? The scrum was stationary squared, you delayed putting it in, that's why he's moved. That is the end of the conversation. Go back again, I don't want to hear anything more. Off you go.
The collaborative style is both high on assertion and on cooperation, and can be seen as quite an ideal situation. Unfortunately, we're not always afforded the time to enter into dialogue with the players to be able to collaborate. However, before a game, that's exactly what we should be doing to try and build those relationships, so that we can have a healthy, collaborative approach towards the game.
So he can't come in and just dive straight down on a player on the ground. Do you understand? He's got to maintain his feet. It's the second time I've had to talk to this player about getting involved in this niggly type of stuff. He needs to be careful.
Can I just say, like, we're only going to do that if they're lying on the ball as well. Like, we're not just going to jump on people on the ground, you know, but it's a bit of a trend already that they are lying on the ball.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. If you let me take care of the players on the ground and don't run in and dive straight down on them. Do you understand? Penalties against you.
Well, I don't know, they reckon Winston Peters has got some good negotiation skills, but Kipper Muir's got some as well.
The accommodating style is low on assertiveness but high on cooperation. It's when we allow the players to have a little bit more voice, and there are times when we need to allow the players to do that so that they feel they are being heard. So it's a very valuable style. The final style is compromising, and this involves a little bit of give and take. So we tend to meander around the two continuums, sometimes being a little bit more forceful and sometimes stepping back a little bit. So it's a combination of the other styles put together in practice. So how do we know how best to deal with conflict? Well, first, we need to understand what has caused it. The ABC model might help you with this, where A is the antecedent or activating event, the trigger, B is the behaviour that this has led to, and the C is the consequence. So the antecedent might be that the bowler's had a number of LBW decisions turned down. The subsequent behaviour is the bowler starting to show emotion and get frustrated. The consequence could be that you're more likely to give a decision in his favour next time, or perhaps that you're going to try and manage his behaviour to ensure it doesn't get out of hand.
The biggest common denominator in conflict management is a lack of feel for the game.
Secondly, we need to know what our typical conflict management style is. What do we default to? How do we normally try and officiate a game? Which of those 5 styles? Because when we're under pressure, what's likely to happen is we will default back to that style, which may or may not be helpful. Because the third thing is that we need to have a breadth of styles. Remember that we've got a range of different types of players who will emotionally respond, players who will positively reinforce, the continual opportunist. They need managing in different ways. So the more diverse a style that you can adopt, the more flexibility in your conflict management style, the easier it will be for you to manage a game.